E te pirimia, e mihi ana ki a koe. E te haukainga Ngāti Whātua rai ki ai ka mihi i ngā mana whenua tēnei rohi tēnā koutou. Ko Stephen Renata tōku ingoa, no Ngāpui ahau, ko Ngāti Pakihi me Ngāti Rehia oku hapu. Ko au te rangatiratahi me kaiwhakahaere mātua o Kiwa Matihiko. My name's Stephen Renata. I'm a descendant of the Ngāpui tribe and Ngāti Pakihi, Ngāti Rehia sub-tribes. I'm the co-owner and managing director of Kiwa Digital.
Kia ora, I'm Julie Ryan and I'm the co-founder and CEO at CustomD. We're an AWS advanced tier partner and we are actually the only New Zealand-owned partner with the Gen AI competency. Every so often in the 20 odd years that we've been building and delivering cloud-based solutions, we get to work on something really special. It's a great honour to be on stage and sharing the story with Kiwa Digital today.
And with AWS and partner CustomD, we're building tools that protect Indigenous heritage and empower communities to control their own future. We're here to give you a little glimpse of that story. So who are we? Kiwa Digital, we're a Māori tech company based here in Tamaki Makaurau, Aotearoa. Our passion is to uplift and support the voices of Indigenous peoples, and we've been doing that for 20 years, helping Indigenous communities tell their story in their language. We're proud innovators, building world-leading tools like VoiceQ, CultureQ, the Ao Marama app, an award-winning app publishing. Ao Marama is an app that uses the maramataka, the Māori lunar calendar and Māori health models, and helps people track their well-being. Ranked top 10 in the first 10 days in Aotearoa and is still in the top 100 month after month, with thousands of downloads and active users. Get your phone out and download now, Ao Marama. Media localization, our VoiceQ cloud tech and native tools have helped support 10 of the top 20 Netflix best ever projects. Squid Game is just one of them. So we're in the dubbing business. We've also been involved in dubbing Indigenous. So very proud of Disney's classics, Moana, The Lion King, Frozen and Encanto into Te Reo Māori. Marvel Studios' Avengers into Lakota, a US Native American language. And most recently, a really good one, The Lord of the Rings, Power of Rings into Cherokee. Those that are into the gaming side of things, VoiceQ's been used for A-grade titles like Pokemon, Assassin's Creed and Lego games. But for us, success isn't just efficiency, it's about cultural pride and self-determination. Of the 7,200 living languages, 43% are at risk of being endangered. A language dies off every 40 days. So when a language dies, so does a worldview. The loss of culture, environment, and scientific knowledge is a loss for all of us. As a general rule, a language endangered when children no longer are using it in a what we call lifetime experience. So an example that might be, I'm using it at home, at school, and I heard it on the radio. The future endangered version is, it's only used in the weekends and for formal introductions. So about 4% of New Zealanders say they can hold a conversation in Te Reo Māori. If you ask Māori, that's about 18%. So while the popularity and use of Te Reo Māori is rising, we are still not out of the woods in terms of being potentially an endangered language. Indigenous languages like Te Reo Māori are also risk fading as the elders pass on and knowledge remaining in really isolated, fragile forms. Things like cultural assets, karakia, waiata, stories, histories. They've often been stored in places that include marae facilities, whānau homes and boxes, computer hard drives, USB sticks, and under Uncle Steve's bed. So without digital preservation, the communities risk losing heritage and massive opportunities. In these communities, data is not about information only, it's a taonga, it's a treasure. So by example, Māori have long faced exploitation and appropriation of cultural knowledge assets. So for them, data sovereignty means who sets the rules, where's the data collected, how are the decisions made, where does the data live for jurisdictional sovereignty, who can access it and how long. Protection with consent, especially with technology like AI, how's it going to be applied honouring privacy, free, prior and informed consent with transparent human-in-the-loop safeguards to keep the knowledge authentic and safe. All of that's got to be wrapped in kaitiakitanga. Stewardship before ownership, right people, right time, right place, protection that regenerates, guard against harm and bias with strong security, lifestyle controls and human oversight. And with the upcoming AWS New Zealand region, yes, data sovereignty and our ability to engender trust has become even stronger than ever. So then with CultureQ, our vision was pretty simple. uplift and support the voices of Indigenous people around the world to bring diverse groups of people together for global prosperity. And our collaboration with CustomD enables that.
Under the hood, CultureQ utilises Caitlyn, which is our generative AI platform. And that comes with pre-built natural language processing, content generation, and knowledge retrieval. We're able to deliver that through the use of white-labelled embeddable UI and API calls. Now, what that's meant for Kiwa is that they have been able to deploy a whole heap of really sophisticated AI capabilities on day one. And they've been able to do that without actually having to build up all of that Gen AI expertise in-house. Caitlyn includes a cultural knowledge base that uses Query, and what we've done is we've layered on top of that curation and governance tools. As you've heard Stephen talk about, trust is such an important part of what we're doing here, and so we build that trust through the use of deep linking responses to authoritative cultural sources. And we also do that whilst maintaining alignment with the AWS Mari data lens and sovereignty frameworks. CultureQ with Caitlyn delivers culturally governed AI through 6 essential capabilities. First up, we have the AI framework, which understands culture. It has built-in safeguards against biases and misrepresentation. Caitlyn's answer generation system, we haven't been able to just use generic training data. We have to ensure that every single response is drawn from a validated cultural source. In the AI, that functions as a kaitiaki, a cultural guardian that protects against knowledge according to established community protocols. And such an important part of this, of course, is the end-to-end data sovereignty. That means Indigenous communities can maintain absolute and complete control over their cultural content. There's language revitalisation features, and they actively help to preserve these endangered languages that we've heard Stephen talk about that are just incredibly fragile. And we deliver this through the use of education, and that education is deployed through AI-powered tools. There's robust identity and access controls, and these ensure that only authorised community members can access this incredibly sensitive cultural knowledge. All of these capabilities work together, and they create an AI that truly serves and protects culture rather than commoditising it. So how does this all work together? CultureQ's platform is built on 3 critical technology layers. At the very foundation that underpins everything is, of course, AWS and Amazon Bedrock, and that provides all of that secure infrastructure and compliance frameworks that are needed for this sensitive cultural data. The middle layer, of course, is Caitlyn, which is our AI engine, and that provides the intelligent document processing that can extract, it can analyse, and index that cultural content. Plus, of course, we have the natural language capabilities that make this knowledge really searchable and accessible. And then the magic comes from CultureQ and Kiwa. They bring that top layer, and that's all of that essential cultural expertise, those community relationships and governance protocols that ensure authentic preservation. These 3 layers, again, they work together to create this trusted platform that can preserve and share cultural knowledge at an enterprise scale. And undoubtedly, this makes Kiwa and CultureQ an absolute global leader in this space.
So what does that give us? Hey, well, this is what we're already experiencing. Up to 90% reduction in cloud data classification and transcription efforts. Over 10,000 taonga digitised across iwi and Indigenous partners, enhanced content discoverability, and secure digital preservation for future generations. Sacred oral histories, dreamtime stories. These are 40,000 years old, folks. Land claims and languages safely archived and accessible. Elders' knowledges, particularly those in our Aboriginal communities, their knowledge captured, strengthening their identity, belonging, and intergenerational bonds. But not only that, we've just launched for the Cherokee Nation their own Cherokee Dictionary app. Download right now. First time in 50 years to improve Cherokee fluency. That's going to hit 1 million Cherokee residents, educators, and you. Go Kiwa. Come on. Here we go. Homai te paki paki. And CustomD. Youth education and language engagement, that's what we're seeing. Active community assets for storytelling, tourism, local initiatives, local council stuff. Māori Pacifica Pathways for Tech. We just employed our first female Māori developer in 22 years at Kiwa. Yeah, come on, 22 years. I mean, really? We're not going to take 22 for the next one, that's for sure. Clients like Cherokee Nation in the States, the Ngalia Heritage Foundation in Western Australia, these guys are pioneers, and I'm so privileged that they've taken us on the journey, blending innovation with traditional knowledge to protect their culture for generations. The big challenge, so something that we're trying to do here in Aotearoa, some government agencies are exploring decentralised service delivery strategies to empower iwi and hapu to deliver and manage their services in their own communities. However, the funding that's got to flow directly to local providers needs very, very accurate data and reporting to manage your taxpayers' dollars responsibly. So, CultureQ on AWS provides a secure, community-controlled data platform. This enables role-based access, transparent reporting, and safe handling of highly sensitive health and social data. This capability, in turn, will support the funding distribution from the government to hapu and iwi for relevant and more impactful service delivery. So the impact on that is first of its kind capability in Aotearoa in Te Taitokoro, the far north. Builds trust and sovereignty for those Māori communities up there and still meets government requirements. This is going to be a game changer, folks, improving the outcomes for some of the country's most underserved communities. Getting this right, though, opens a door beyond Aotearoa to the world, so we can see a global vision of Indigenous language and culture to thrive in that digital age. Youth empowerment. Our rangatahi, youth become youngateras. That's one you want to write down. Youngateras, young rangateras. They'll become the creators and the publishers, sharing their own stories, voices on global platforms. We have 48-hour Kiwa Slam workshops or wānangas where we bring in the youth and they learn how to build an app in 48 hours. Do you know any of your kids that'll sit down for 2 days and create something? So it's a real mission bringing that with the technology. More Māori in Pacific and Tech, we've mentioned that, including our wahine developers and content creators. The last thing we can see, though, is giving the communities the ownership in the tech, allowing them to have the sovereignty over their assets, their stories, their language, and their data. And ultimately, CultureQ becomes a platform built in Aotearoa, lighting up Indigenous voices across the world. So what have we got out of this? 4 things. Tech can be a cultural force. Our experience so far, working with AWS and Custom D, is this type of tech has really been in Māori, he kaha hurihanga whai tikanga, which means a transformative force that's guided by tikanga, values and protocols. Big learning, go slow to go fast. Take the time to listen to elders and kaumātua in their own spaces on their terms. You need to apply a consistent and authentic Indigenous-led, Indigenous-centred approach, and this implies their decision rights, not just our perspectives. And understand that transformation in these communities might be invisible until the whole community actually embraces it. Prove value early. It's simple things like going to these communities and having a pōheri, a mihi whakatau, a welcome, or running a slam workshop for the kids with tech that inspires first the respect, then the curiosity, then the confidence, and then the adoption. And then lastly, all about people. True success isn't about AI and latest tech features. That's a given, right? Really, the impact comes from empowering the people and building the cultural confidence on both sides while ensuring that the community know that their data is being protected and treated in a mana-enhancing way. But beyond everything that we've learned on this very short journey, to be fair, is that AI thrives on human trust. Technology alone is not enough. AI and human relationships cannot exist in isolation. And at Kiwa, and with Custom D, AI means for us 2 things: ancient intelligence and artificial intelligence. And we need both and apply both. We've found that working alongside the iwi and hapu, listening, co-designing, respecting protocols is actually what built the foundation of CultureQ. End-to-end data sovereignty, permissions, privacy only matter if the community actually believes in the system. When communities control their own narrative and their knowledge, AI becomes a kaitiaki, a guardian, and not a threat. We feel very fortunate that we've discovered Custom D, AWS, to ensure that we are innovating in trusted technology. Now it's time for Aotearoa to rise up. Tēnā rau atu, Custom D, me AWS whānau whānui nō reira tēnā koutou, mauri ora kia tātou, translated, turning it back to you now. Thank you, Custom D and AWS. This kōrero will end for now. Thank you all. The breath of life to us all.